One of my absolute favorite shows on earth is Survivorman. Love it, love Les Stroud, grew up watching him. And I was watching him the other day, and I saw something that he used to film that I never really paid attention to. And now that I'm kind of shooting that type of content myself, I kind of wanted to get one, right? It's a beanbag mount, and he uses these for his camcorders on these ground shots, and I found the one he uses, but they don't make it anymore, or at least not that I could find, and I couldn't find one used on eBay or anything. So I thought, how hard could it be to make one? So we're gonna try that today. I'm making this primarily for my larger camera, but I can also put my GoPro or anything. You'll see what I mean. He's basically the bags, they make them with the tripod screw and different placements on the bag, but I'm gonna put mine on the back. So first thing I needed was a container for the beans, and I went to Walmart and I got this number right here. Now this is, I'll be honest with you, I don't know what it is. I guess it's like a little craft pouch, but it was like $7 and it should be big enough. Yeah, here's a lens I have. Okay, so if the camera's body's here, yeah, that should work. Again, as with my hatchet video, this is not a tutorial. This is more of a, can this work? I don't know. That's why I only spent $7 on this. I'm also using things I have around the house, like for beads. I think this is like slingshot ammo or marbles or something. I didn't want to put real beans in there because I figured that would attract unwanted wildlife while I was out camping and stuff. And I also didn't want to spend any more money on actual synthetic beads. So we're going to use marble slingshot ammo things. I don't know. Is it going to be too heavy? Maybe. Let's find out. And I also have a couple screws. These are 1/4 inch 20 TPI screws. These are bolts rather, and that's the correct size for a tripod mount. Got a couple washers here. I don't really know if I'm going to need them all, but I have them just in case. Okay, so first off, I have to figure out how many beans to put in here. Actually, let's see what these are. Let's see. I should have looked at that before I started this. So these looks like are just marbles, which is kind of what I thought. I'm hoping these are the other ones. Oh my goodness. Okay, perfect. This is exactly what I was hoping it was. So this is what I think I'm going to use. These are glass marbles. I use these for, these were both from a role-playing game that I did. But anyway, regardless, what these actually are right here are biodegradable slingshot ammo, which is perfect. So that way, if it spills, it's not going to mess with the environment or anything. So cool. I think that's going to be enough. If not, I'll just fill it with these. I think I could just shove this in here. Let's see if that fits about right. Okay, I think that... So I don't want to just dump them in there because if I accidentally mess with the zipper, they'll go everywhere. All right. Let's see. I think there are a few too many in there. All right. Not an exact science here, so I'm just going to take a handful out. Take 2 handfuls out. Okay. So that's what that looks like. And if we put this in here, because the point is you want something that's too many, because you want the beanbag to be able to fit flat and kind of angle at different uneven surfaces. You know, the tripods are great, like the small one I'm using right here for my GoPro, but sometimes, like if I was gonna sit it on something like this, right? Sit it there, camera's there, angle the camera. I think that's about right. Cool. So let's go with that. No idea how many are in there. So this is not a tutorial. All right, got my beans. These are ready to go in later, so we'll set this off to the side. Now, the next issue is we have to make a hole here for the camera to go on. I think I want the camera to sit on this back side, just because that feels right to me. No particular reason. We're gonna measure something. I'm using my camera to film, and I have it on a tripod, so I couldn't really measure the tripod screw. Should have done this earlier. Anyway, I think this might actually work. I was thinking about cutting it down. I've got a hacksaw, and I've got a Dremel and some sandpaper. but I don't necessarily know if that's actually necessary. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and cut this hole. I'm just gonna build it and see how it fits first. And then if it needs to trim the screw down, we can. So we're gonna do that first, do a little dry fitting, and then go from there. Using this as my, this is actually a phone mount, so I guess that'd work too. I mean, this fits in just fine, right? I mean, it has a little bit of room there, but I don't think that's gonna be a problem. So first, let's find the hole here. All right, so this thing is the flat side, 4.5 inches, easy. So we'll go 2 1/4 in, 2 1/4, right there. Okay, there's our 2 1/4. Now we'll look, let's see, we have that there. And I'm assuming it's, okay, so it's 4.5 by 5 inches. So I think I want the hole, honestly, pretty close to where it is. We'll do 1.5 inches, 1 1/4 inches, right? But this doesn't necessarily matter. I mean, this is kind of eyeballing anyway. Yeah, I'm just gonna go back just a hair. All right, that's where I want it. That's where we're gonna do the screw. All right, so we're gonna cut this. I have a drill if I want a specific circular hole, but for now I'm just gonna try it with a box cutter here. And I gotta put a yogurt lid in here to prevent me from cutting through the other side. So let's go ahead and poke through that first. All right. Okay. All right, so I'll cut a little cross here. Now let's try the screw. Also, the reason I chose this is it's kind of a not like a nylon backpack material, so it should be fairly rugged. All right, so that goes through there. Now the problem is that's really wobbly, and that's why I got these washers. So I want this one to go on this side, right, to kind of balance out that and give it a flatter surface, just like that. And then this one, if needed, can go here, but I'll be honest, I don't really know if it needs both. I think one will be just fine. So that's what it looks like on the inside, right? So, and I'm not going to attach this permanently because remember, since it's on a tripod, it has to be able to come on and off. So I will attach the washer, whichever one I choose, to keep the hole open, but this itself will just be free. And that's another reason I'm putting this in this bag too, is because I will have to be opening it to take the camera on and off the tripod. Okay, so there's that. Here's our screw. Honestly, before I put anything permanent together, I'm gonna do a dry run. Let's do a dry attachment. If I'm making it mainly for this camera, I guess this camera's gonna have to go. Okay, so we're on the phone now, but I needed a camera here. I'm gonna put a bigger lens on just because I feel like we need to fit it more with a larger lens. Sans the washer, this is how I would do it out in the field, right? Put this in, this right here, okay? Then I'll take the camera right here, screw it in. Okay, so that's a little loose, but that's okay. Well, the screw itself is not loose. Here, let me show you. See, the washer is a hair loose. So, see that? So that's screwed in all the way on the camera. But the washer is a hair loose. Not that that'll super matter when all of the beans are in there, but let's add one more and just see what happens. I can do another washer, like I can do a bunch of washers, but this is now course correcting here because I was going to permanently install these washers. I was going to glue them on there, fasten them, but each camera's tripod mount, or each like mount I put on there, is gonna have a different depth. So unfortunately, I think I might just need to keep the washers loose and then adjust them as needed. So that way I don't lock myself into only using one camera with this. I mean, this is all the washers I have for this at the moment. Let's see how this works. Oh, that's really solid actually. Okay, so I got all 4 of those washers on there, and as you can see, it's not moving. Now the reason too I did the washers was to give it more of a base, well, more surface area, more grip for the bolt too, sure, but also because with the beans, I wanted it to be able to sit better on that and not be, you know, having the screw dig in the middle or whatever. So there's that. Now let's put the beans in there. I keep calling them beans. They're like glass beads. Okay. No way that worked. Look at this. That's a beanbag mount. That looks similar to the one that Les uses. So let's see, if I was, okay, a little dry run here, a little test. Okay, so it's fairly loose. I guess it's kind of what you want. I don't know. Look at that. Okay, it's aiming up. Now it's aiming down. So the bag is rotating a little. I don't think there's any way to fix that with my current setup the way I wanted it with the different things I could add. I could put a rubber gasket or something to make it less wobbly, but either way, when I watch him pick it up, sometimes the bag kind of does that. So yeah, look, we're aiming down. Now we're aiming up. Example, test shot. All right, here's I'm gonna do something with this tape measure, okay. Blah, 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 blah. If I had to do that with tripod, I'd be filling with it a lot more. I move it over here. Oh, that's great. That's really great. Okay, so there you have it. Here's your little beanbag mount thing here. I don't know if it necessarily looks right, but there you go. This zipper is interesting, but that works just fine. Let's see, how much did this cost me? In total, I paid $7 for the bag, $7.50, something like that. $2.50 for the hardware. I had the beans and that other bag. That one, I don't know. I'm sure you could get something similar for $5. And honestly, if you are not taking it out in the woods and you're just doing it around the house or something like that, you could just use regular beans, and that's really cheap, and just Ziploc bags. So mileage may vary on that one, but I'm gonna say you can probably do this for $15. And I think they retailed for like $30, so that's not too bad. I will be using this in my videos coming up, and I will get back to you. I don't know how this is gonna go. I think it's gonna go well. Hopefully, I might firm up the cut I did since that's a little rough. I think I'll probably go ahead and do that. After this is over, I'll just probably wrap some electrical tape or some duct tape, something around there just to fold in there and really make sure that those, the cuts I did don't rip the bag, because that's absolutely something that would happen, especially if I'm picking it up like this. That would absolutely happen. All right, I went ahead and did that. I went ahead and patched it up. So this is going to be a lot more secure. Doesn't look the best, I know, but look. That goes right through there, and that'll help, you know, preserve the longevity of it. Probably should have gotten a grommet, so if you're gonna do this yourself, definitely a small grommet would probably be the way to go. So might do that later, but for now, I mean, you know, what do I have? $10 in this. When I put that on there, it actually made it a little snugger and it gave it some grip, so I don't have as much issue of it turning around anymore. So definitely grommet, tape, yeah. So here you go. Film your campfires, film your stuff outdoors. I don't know. I'm excited to use this and I hope it lasts. So I will keep you guys posted on that. And yeah, stay tuned to see this in action on my channel. We got some more adventures coming up the rest of this year. And yeah, hope you guys liked it. And remember, if you sweat, you die.